And we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the zoo. This is a special broadcast because this is the late night zoo. And oh boy, the stuff that goes on at the late night zoo now we're talking. Um, and as I start out every broadcast, it's with one of these days, everything that I want is gonna be mine. But if it ain't, it'll be alright. As long as there's sunshine and a big old brew and a little old you. Oh, yeah, I'm sure they found it now. It's no longer a secret. That is a great old tune. So I don't know if anybody's coming in. We lost pretty much all of, well, we'll see. We'll see who comes back. But, we had a lot to do today. We had to do interviews at another Streamyard that I opened up private, and so that we have those interviews completed. And now we're going to have some fun with those interviews. hmm Nobody might come by tonight, and that's okay because everybody was by all day and it was fun. I think I may have set a new record for YouTube strikes in one day. I'm not sure, but I'm close. So, and that's no, I'm just kidding, Brian. Nah, what I did was they were giving me a hard time about something, and they're saying this is your first time, this, that, and the other. So I figured I'll just pull the stream, and put it on private, and that's that. So if it's on private, they don't really care. See, it's so weird because that last stream is still showing as live on uh yeah, well, whatever. Yeah, it is funny. I mean, that's hilarious. Like, what I realized tonight is that StreamYard would have been wise to create some software within this thing. So, like, when people come online and they want to play a song, that the song will play just for the people watching, but not, you know what I mean? It wouldn't record. I don't know if that's possible, but so it wouldn't make it into the final cut, so you'd have a bunch of like spaces in your video, but people would realize that that's songs that would have normally been charged for. I don't know. Everybody wants to get paid. So, and even artists, I kind of get it. If I was a singer, I'd want to get paid for my songs too. But it's also not my deal. Like that's up to YouTube. YouTube has got to figure that out for themselves. You put all this music on YouTube. It's like what the hell? I can watch as much as I want by myself, but the minute I turn it on a broadcast, I don't get it. It's stupid. So, but whatever. Let them work it out. They're the billionaires. We lost Laren. We lost RJ. We weren't exciting enough tonight for Robert Jenkins. That's all right. But we still had fun. But yeah, now I can see running a broadcast. It'd be very much like running a radio program. So it's hard to get away from the microphone unless you can do commercials or play a song or something because people are here and they want to interact. And yeah, right, Jenkins. He's got his standards. You know how he is. So he's got to run over to his buddy. What's the guy's name? Kelly. Kelly Powers. Plus, Robert maybe didn't think he could get on the panel. He always has to get on the panel. And so he was weighing out his options. He's going, oh, if they're playing music, I may not be able to get on that panel. Oh, yeah, he's got no standards. Absolutely. Yeah, you nailed it right there. You nailed the hammer right on the head. Yeah, he's got no standards. Mhm. Yeah. Robert's, he could very much be on the flight logs for Epstein Island. We're going to have to check into those Epstein Island flight logs for Robert Jenkins. Oh, yeah. He loves the panel. It gives him clout, right? He's chasing all that clout. I wish he'd come back in. I'd say, hey, Robert, take over here for me for a little bit. I'm going to go out in the side chat with Brian and Michael Laren. Let's see what kind of skills you got, young lad. Oh, yeah. He wouldn't do it on his own, but if Olive was in here, he'd cut off his left leg to get in there to be co-host with Olive. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Well, see, it wouldn't work because Olive would come in and save him. That's her baby. Yeah. She's got to protect him. You know. Oh, but I would love it to put him in by himself. Yep. That's exactly right. It's Olive's little baby. Can't get around it. And I bet you. Okay. Mhm. Brian, let me get back to my main page where Brian's at. I would really love to get with Tony Cato to get us older brothers more familiar with Old Covenant or Old Testament, same thing, versus New Covenant, and why. Oh, he brings up such a good point about why people are so hung up on people's sins regarding salvation. It's because they don't uh, rightly divide the two covenants properly. hmm His explanation would have solved a lot of the arguing with people at the Praise I Am channel. A lot of arguing. And it crushes the Calvinist position when you start to get into the covenant stuff. So, yeah, I really think it would be worthwhile to find out if Tony Cato would either come on our show or us to go to his. Yeah, I was listening to today, and he hit some key points that I mean I knew the points, but it was so much more clear the way he presented it, and this idea where people are like, oh, you just can't live any way you want, you can't live like the devil. Well, that's old covenant thinking. Ultimately, I mean, nobody in the new covenant is stupid to think that there's no consequences to you for sowing to your flesh. But ultimately, when it comes down to them talking about imputed sin that would keep you out of heaven, it doesn't exist in the better covenant, because sin is not imputed to the man. Blessed is the man whose sin is not imputed to. So it's like, and if they don't have an understanding of that, and they're brought up in churches that never rightly divided that, that's pretty much why there's all this division. But boy, he really broke it down so well. I just loved how he did it. Hello, sleeping Brian. Hello, sleeping Michael. Yeah. Well, I mean, I wasn't going to shut down, and then they shut us down, or they gave us a warning, and instead of like going through the whole warning process, I just pulled the stream and started a new one. Plus, I had to buy more hours. I didn't realize I was up near 50 hours. So that's all right. And then Olive had to go do something with her mom. That her mom was having something that she needed done for her, and she said, "Well, start another stream so I can come back and hang out with everybody and blah blah." Because if there's one thing that Olive loves to do, she loves to hang out with the brethren. I made a mistake and laid my head down and clicked on YouTube one last time. Oh, Brian, that is a mistake. You got sucked in again. Just when you thought you were out, they suck you back in. Mhm. So have you guys been keeping up what the hell is going on in the world today? This YouTube sucked me in. I didn't keep up with anything. I didn't see any headlines, nothing. Hurricanes. I know there was a hurricane that was supposed to hit Florida, but then it went the other way. I think towards Texas. Uh, with all the rain, I wonder if there were some tornadoes. Yeah. Boom. Shaka laka. Like a boss, I got you back. And Olive's funny anyway because she's on Olive time. So she'll be like, I'll be back in 15 minutes. 3 hours later. I don't care. None of that bothers me. But I'm glad. Thank you guys for coming by because without you guys here, it's not even a show, you know, and there's no fun. There's no comments. There's no fun. There's no nothing. No nothing. You know what? I should have got a hold of Josh Music, but he should have got he should have got a notification anyway. He might have been tired. But praise didn't go on for 2 nights in a row. I mean, what's this world coming to? Praise is really slacking. Someone's gonna need to talk to him. And he didn't come by here, so maybe he's getting ready for a debate or something. I don't know. Or maybe he just read his Bible. I don't know. And honestly, I like being a little bit ignorant of what's going on. I like not having information. Because people ask, where's this person? Where's that person? I don't know. I like the I don't know situation. Hmm. Hmm. It reminds me of when we were young. I was telling you, when we'd be running from the Chicago police, that was their number one answer. I don't know. What are you guys doing? I don't know. Who broke that window? I don't know. I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. What do you want? I don't know. The notebook. Yeah. You want pizza or you want Chinese? I don't know. Yeah, that's a common male thing. Yep. Wife made me watch it. Quit lying, Laren. As soon as you saw that movie come out on rental, you were the first guy to snap it up. Blame it on the wife. Although, okay, I can tell you a couple movies that make me cry, and I'm not sure why. Well, one of them I know why. Saving Private Ryan. That movie makes me cry, especially at the end when uh, he turns to his wife. Oh yeah, Old Yeller. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, what do you mean? Michael cried during it. You mean you didn't, Brian? Uh, we're gonna have to get Brian a sociopath test if he didn't cry during Old Yeller. Um, so Saving Private Ryan, when he turns to his wife at the end, he said, uh, "How did he say?" He goes, "Tell me that I'm a good man." Ooh, I had to get up and get some tissue. But there's some other movies that I've cried at, like tears shot out of my eyes, and I couldn't figure out why. Um, let's see. The movie Castaway. Tom Hanks, right? Wilson. Don't ask me why, but that tears just shot out my eyes. I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait a minute, what's happening here? That's a volleyball. What's going on here? Um, let me see. Rudy. When Rudy got in the game and Rudy made that coming from the side behind the defensive tackle, he motored it and he came in and got that sack. Oh my god. So Rudy did it to me. Oh yeah, Hoosiers. Yeah, that got me. Yep, that got me. Jimmy. Uh, let's see what else. Um, Rudy got me. Hoosiers got me. Old Yeller got me. Saving Private Ryan got me. Castaway got me. Uh, what else? Oh, I'll tell you one that got me. Seabiscuit. Remember that horse racing movie? He's like, he fouled me. And it was the dude. It was Jeff Bridges, the dude. He fouled me. And he's like, son, why are you so angry? Whatever. But then at the end, when him and his buddy are there on the track, dude, come on. He's like, have a nice ride. Oh, dude, tears went right out of my eyes. Like the weirdest times in a movie, like you wouldn't even think it. You know, it's like, what's happening to me? Uh, I love Seabiscuit. That's one of my favorite movies. I think because this world is just so shitty. I mean, it's not because we have such blessings here. with people we love, but that whole thing that you grow up and you realize you got lied to most of your life, and then you're rooting for that victory. So when somebody gets that victory, it's like you got it with them, kind of thing. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird thing. What else? I think that's pretty much it that I can think of. Robert Jenkins cried at Thelma and Louise because they were like 40. And when they went over that cliff, he was like, no, no, MILFs. Aaron is crying right now, probably. Ryan. Oh, man. Jenkins, Thelma and Louise, man, when they went over that cliff, he didn't get his shot. And he was thinking the whole movie, oh, yeah, we were soldiers. Forgot about that one. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Band of Brothers. Also, that series, Band of Brothers. Woo. Yeah, there were some episodes where I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom again. I gotta go to the bathroom. Dry my eyes. Uh, oh yeah, I loved Band of Brothers. Oof. Um, but movies. That's about it. I can't think of any more that really did it to me. Mm, mm, mm. Oh wow, you served with Chris Kyle. Wow. Ooh, you were in Fallujah. Wow. Yeah, Fallujah was Fubar. Fallujah was Fubar big time. Do, 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 do. Wow. Dude, you served with some tough dudes. I mean, all of them are tough. All you guys are tough that go through that. So, you know, I should ask you guys this. There was a guy, and you guys would probably know best, but just as I'm an avid reader, like I'm avid to know like real stuff. I'm not interested in, uh, I don't know, it's weird. I'm not interested in like sci-fi and all that. I mean, I'll watch a movie, whatever, but like when I start learning about real things, there was this guy who was the joint chief. He was the, I think he was the joint chief of staff or whatever. He was the top guy in the military. I think he was a Marine. Uh, and I had read this article about him. I think it was what is that? It's not Slate, but something else. But basically, they said that this guy was so badass in every way of being prepared for any military in the world that would even think about uh making launches on America or whatever, that how can I put this, like they interviewed the heads of military in countries all over the world. You name the country, China, Russia, I mean, you name a power, Iran, Iraq, whatever. And the heads of the military and the heads of the government would have sleepless nights knowing that this guy was always on the move and he was always prepared. And they would say that even though how would they put it? They were afraid of the American military might, but they would say that they were more afraid of this one man. And his name was Joseph Dunford. Joseph Dunford? Dunphy? I don't know if you guys know who that is. You probably do. Maybe you served when he was in charge. Um, Let me look him up for a second. Joseph Dunford. Yeah, he's a general. Joseph Dunford. Okay. And you know, you look at the guy and he just looks like a normal dude. He might be a football coach or something, but like his gifts and calling apparently that God blessed this guy with is that this guy struck fear in every country in the world. And I mean, from your guys' perspective, were you guys aware of that? Captain Kangaroo. Yeah. Well, there's a funny thing about General Schwarzkopf. They interviewed him too, and he said that he gave the credit to his all his military operations, that they were so successful was because Joseph Dunford was his guy. He said without him, he's like, nothing would get done the way I wanted. So yeah, it's interesting that you bring up Schwarzkopf because he got interviewed, and a bunch of these guys, they don't want to have their faces on TV. Whatever they're being interviewed, they want to be anonymous, uh, and all of them were like jumping for joy when Joseph Dunford retired. And a lot of them said, well, yeah, you think he's retired, but he is not retired. General Chesty Puller was tough. Yeah. I mean, remember when the banks collapsed during Obama's administration from the mortgage crisis and all the banks collapsed? Uh, I don't know if this is true either, but it was said that basically Joseph Dunford was running the government. Uh, I mean, we had Obama, we have Congress, whatever, but when it came right down to it, it was Joseph Dunford that was in charge of everything. So, and I'm just captivated by this dude. I read all this stuff about him. Michael Laren in the UFC. Oh boy, you'd be giving that Stockton slap right back to one of the Diaz brothers, Michael. They give you the Stockton slap. Michael Laren gives them the Laren slap. Yeah, Joe Dunford. That's right, Marine General, and he was the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff at one point. He was the head of all of the military, everything during Obama. Like somebody said in the interview that even though he wasn't the Joint Chiefs of Staff, that everybody in the military knew for 20 or 25 years that Joe Dunford was in charge for like 25 years. They all went to him. Uh, all the generals went to him because he just was that, I don't know, gifted or, he's like the Michael Jordan of generals, like, and, but he only like had the title of being in charge of the whole, I think, isn't that the Joint Chiefs of Staff or whatever, for like 4 years, where he had the official title of being head guy in charge. But technically, he was in charge for 25 years. You know, he just had a brain and a way of thinking for preparedness that was beyond what, and they would all talk about it. All these generals that were above him for so many years relied on him. And yeah, chairman of the Joint Chiefs, right, Brian? So he only actually had the chairman of the Joint Chiefs for like 4 years. But honestly, from what all these generals and former chairman of the Joint Chiefs would say, the man that was in charge of the military was actually Joe Dunford because of the way that he could think and his preparedness. Just a freaking Michael Jordan of the military. So if you ever get a chance to read up on that dude, it is unbelievable. Jacobson. Nobody wants nobody wants to go to bed. Everybody wants me to start playing music and get all the strikes again. I know it. By the way, we're gonna bypass all these strikes. Bill from the UK knows how to do this OGG software. It's this whole thing. I don't know. And so all these songs that we love, all the praise and you know thank songs to God and Jesus, we're gonna we're gonna download them to the OGG software and have them available. We can play them as much as we want. Actually, we can play any song through that OGG software, but it has to be run through Linux. So we'll figure it out. Yeah, damn strikes. Yeah, I wish I would have served. My dad served, and that was during the Korean conflict. But he actually didn't have much of a choice because back then, between Vietnam and Korea, um, immigrants that were coming in this country who were getting their citizenship, they had to join up. They didn't have a choice. Yeah, it was like a draft for immigrants. So, if he wanted to become an American citizen, live in America, he had no choice but to go through the service. So he picked the army. I mean, he didn't know what he was doing. Yeah, yeah, right. He didn't know. He was young. He was like 18 or 19 and coming into America for the first time. And after he passed his citizenship test, they said, "Now, what branch of the military are you gonna join?" He's like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, you have to serve." And what do you guys think? Outside of prophecy, we know that there's going to be wars and rumors of wars and then actual wars, according to prophecy, right? Yeah, we're all now in the Lord's arms, right? But like, besides prophecy and wars and rumors of wars and actual wars, do you think that there's anybody that's stupid enough to try to attack America? I don't mean like cyber attack or internet attack. It could be a pulse bomb, right? That would knock out the electrical grid, right? But do you think that there's any country that is dumb enough to actually, you know, do something significant and damage to America? Yeah. Oh, I know they would. They'd pay a severe price. Yeah, probably so, Jacobson.